So now we're going to start the next lecture, which is going to be about Revolve Boss, Revolve Cut. Then we're going to show you some sweep and sweep cuts. Then I'm going to talk about some reference planes, and then the Loft Boss, the Loft Cut, and some more different planes that are needed to apply sweep or loft features. So we're going to talk about that throughout this remainder of the lecture. I will give you some assignments at the end. We'll do one probably together, or I'll give you guys to do it tomorrow as well. We'll see how the time is going. So we're going to start off by just making a simple part, like always. I'm just going to change my units just because. Change here. Again, the recap, if you want to change over here. If you want fractions again, guys, you just click here. 1/8, 1/4, ½ inch, let's put 32, and you have fractions going on in your drawing. So now I'm going to show you the option right over here. So we did the extrude and we did the extrude cut. Now I want to show you the revolve, the sweep, the loft, and the revolve cut. All right, and the sweep cut and the loft cut and a few others as well. So we're going to start off with making a simple thing. We're going to go to do our sketch. On the front, I'll do this time. So what does revolve do? It takes the shape you're building. So I'm going to make a center line. I'll use midpoint, and I'll make a construction line for this. And I'll go up, and I'll just put it any dimension right now. Then I'm going to do a arc. So let's do a center point arc from here to here to here. So what I'm doing now is by using the Revolve feature, I'm going to take a profile that I just made, like something like this, and I'll be able to revolve it around the axis point. So let's go take the feature and use Revolve Boss or Base. It's saying that it's currently open, but it's okay just to show you what I want to build. I want to build this lovely circle. So as you can see here, all I did so far is I clicked and it worked. But let's say it didn't work right away. What you would need to do, let me just close this again. My computer's going. Let me go back, not click on the sketch this time, and let's do revolve. So now it's asking us to choose our sketch. We go here, click on our sketch, and now we have our piece selecting, what's going on here? The one we wanted. If I click here, it's going to go that sketch and revolve it around. If I don't want to go the full 360 and I want to do 180, accept. You see here, I did half or I did 180? Yeah, I did half of it. So as you can see here, we have half the circle. If I wanted to edit it and I want to do 270, for example, I have 3/4, accept. I have now a Pac-Man looking one, but as you can see here, it kind of chooses how you want it. If you want a full circle, edit feature, put 360, and now we have the complete sketch. So it doesn't have to always be a ball. I just want to show you quickly the simplest revolve, where we have the profile. Let's go back and erase it again, and let's change it up a tiny bit. So I have this prefix here now. Let's go add a couple extra things to this sketch. Let's go first things first, make a, let's edit the sketch, that would help. Let's go here, add this over here, add this one over here, make them equal to each other. Solidworks is getting very annoying how it keeps pushing it to the side. Let's make them equal to each other, like so. Now let's use our trim. Let's actually add our dimension first. Let's just put this as ½ inch, like so. And now let's use our trim. There we go. There we go. So now we have this lovely trim over here. Let me get rid of this dimension for now. And now to avoid, if you don't want to get that pop-up, or for example, if you want to have a hole in the middle, I don't really have to have the plane here. So let me just trim this actually. And let's go add this one. There we go, it's trimmed. Let's convert that line back to oh, it is a normal line now. Perfect. And let's make our revolve line somewhere over here, just to show you something like that. So we have a revolve line over here. I could leave it like this. I could change it to construction line. Why would I change the construction? Just so it doesn't pop up, it doesn't interfere, and I know that's going to be my rotation, my center of rotation. Let's go back to the features, revolve. We have our profile selected. Now it's asking where do you want to revolve it around. So we click here. This will be our rotation. And as you can see here, we are adding, if I accept it, that's the space we left in between. From here to here is our space that we just added. And also our two little bumps that we added to our revolve as well. I could have also done like before, edit the feature. And I could have, instead of going 180, go halfway. And as you can see here, it added the actual piece. Now let's say I wanted to add a hole in the middle of it. There's a couple ways you can do that as well. If I go back and edit the feature, not edit the feature, let's go in this case, delete the feature. Okay, but I always say you want to keep the sketch. Now let's go do the same thing in revolve. This time, sketch. The axis rotation will be this one here again. This time we're going to use the thin feature. So what that's going to do is going to actually give it a thickness inside. So it's going to make it thin. So if you look here, it's going to be a thin little profile. And I could choose the thickness I want. So if I go put 2, which I think is much bigger than before, let's go do 1/2. No, let's go do 0.25. Let's go do 1/32. Because I don't know how big I made this. Now that we did that, let's go press accept. Actually, instead of doing 360, let's do 180. And now you see we have a hole within our piece using the thin feature. See here how it's now a cutout of our option. So if we have the thickness we need, we could do this as well to show the cut through it. If I go back and edit it, I could see once I add the thin feature, you can't really remove it unless you delete it. Same thing is if I extrude it, revolve it, then I go back and try to do it, it won't. So you have to always delete it if you want to keep it thin or not thin, depending on what you need. If I want to change the thickness here to 1/2 inch, see now it's brought it outward and I have the thickness. If I go back and edit the feature and I want to flip the direction inward, so it's a little bit smaller. So now I have that as well, the cutout. So it's a little bit thick. This is a little too much thickness that I did, but you kind of get the idea. We could do the same thing for the extrude like we did before on the last one, or if I forgot to do it, but you have that thin option as well. Let's go delete this again. And this time I'm going to eliminate this line. Edit plane, get rid of this. So now we have the same thing again. I'm going to go back, or if I don't want to go back right away, I can just do feature and do revolve. So it's already active. See, I don't have to have that extra line. I could technically just go here, clear this, and say that this is my line. Well, not that one, but a flat one like this one right here. And it's going to use that one there as my center of rotation. And again, if I go do 180, you see that I have my piece. Why is it a solid? Because I don't have a gap in between and I didn't use the thin feature. If I would have used the thin feature, and I did 180, and I have my line here. Let's go put it as 0.25. No, that's the same number. Let's go do it 1/32. Flip it inward. Accept. And as you can see here, we have our cutout of the piece. So why did I do this? Because we didn't choose that line, but you can always eliminate it afterwards as well. But so just you get an idea of how it's going to look when you shell the actual piece. So good. So now that I've showed you that, let's go back and delete it. And let's just do a simple revolve around that first one. Revolve, click the sketch. Okay, 360, fine, and press OK. So now we have our lovely piece. So let's say I wanted to cut a hole through this on the side here. What I can do now is I could go to the side view like so. Oops. Like so. And now I could use the section. And I will go switch it to I have the front view like so. I accept it. And now I'm going to make a sketch as well. So watch a sketch. Let's create a sketch. And we're going to create it on the same view. So the top view. Let's go add a slot through it. So let's go make a rectangle like so. Doesn't make a difference for the size right now. Just make it like this. And we're going to accept that piece. So now if I wanted to cut it, I could use my extrude cut. Not extrude, sorry. Extrude cut. It's going to show me my piece. And I'm going to say through all as well on both sides. Accept it. I'm going to get rid of my section. And now you see that we have the hole going through both sides. Like so. If I wanted to use now, for example, Revolve Cut. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to our, actually I think we're going to go edit our first sketch. So let's go back. Edit sketch. What sketch is this on? This is on the front plane. So we're going to try something else. Let's go make a new sketch. Sketch, drawing, sketch on the front plane. Let's see if this works. Control 8. And we're going to do our section again. So for the section, guys, I click the section on top, and then I could change the view by just clicking over here. See? Top view, right view. I could click on these views to change them up as I want. Accept. So now we're making a sketch. Let's go make a cutout right here. So let's make this profile like that. All right. So what's going to do, it's going to remove this material from my item. Accept it. What I could do also is in this sketch, if I'm still in it, is I'm going to make a reference line from the middle across like this. And I'm going to change it so I make sure that it doesn't pop up in my drawings. I'm going to make it for construction. So now we have that piece there going. So let's take off our half section. So we're going to make this little cut through this piece. I know it makes no sense, but just to show you how it works. Feature, Revolve Cut now. Similar to the other one, it's choosing my line. Let's double check. This is my line here, right over here. And it's going to cut through my material like this. If I accept it, see now it's sliced right through every single piece that I was doing to build this item right over here. So I was able to revolve cut it. So now that we've done the revolve cut and the revolve feature, I want to show you quickly the sweep feature. So what we're going to do here is we're going to open up a new file again. So those of you who have used, like you guys have all used it before, AutoCAD, the sweep feature, which can be found right over here, the sweep, which is right over here, it takes a profile, then it takes a path, and it sweeps it along that object. So when you're doing the sweep boss, so I'm just going to talk a bit, so you're going to see my mouse moving a bit. It adds material by sweeping a shape through the path you want. And then when you're using the sweep cut, again, you're removing material from that path that you don't need. So let me show you an example of how to do it. Just to remember that when we are doing the sweep, you're going to need two sketches. One of them is going to be for the profile and the other one's going to be for the path. So let me show you what I mean. Let's go create a sketch. I'm going to leave the units as metric for now. Let's go do a sketch. And our first one I'll have it go on is my front plane. So let's go make a profile first. So I'll go from a circle like so, and let's add a rectangle around that. All right, so this will right here is my profile. I think I can I rename this feature properties if I want to, so make my life easier. I could go here and just do profile. So it gets a little, you don't have to do this. This is just more profile for sweep. Okay, just do profile. Let me do that. Okay, so I just changed the name. You don't have to do that. That's just me just showing you that that's the profile. So now that we have the profile, we're gonna have to make our path on a different plane. So if I built it on the front plane, I'm gonna have to build my path either on the top or the right. So I'm gonna build it on the right in this case. So we're gonna go now to our right plane, like so. Again, I'm gonna do Control 8, which is gonna make it go straight. And now I'm gonna make my profile. So let's just go make a line first, if I want to. Just make sure it snaps to the, oh, for some reason now it stopped working. There we go. Oops, no. This is my AutoCAD. Let's go back. This is my SolidWorks saying, nope. Let's do it again. From the right plane, can I just draw it from here now? Now it seems to be working. So let's go, this is not a way to be working. So let's go back to my view and make sure that line goes straight for now. In this case, I want it straight. It doesn't have to if you're not making it straight. Let's use a horizontal. Let's keep going with this path. Oops. So let's make it go like this. We'll make it this one here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another one over here. Let's see if this will let me do it. A spline from here to here, like so, like so. So I have that nice little spline. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try it anyways. And then I'm going to come back over here and pull it back so it comes here. So I might get an issue over here. So what I can do is I'll just do some fillet here. Fillet, and let's just do from here to here. Let's do it as 30. Let's do it as 50. There we go. So we have a nice fillet going there, and let's add another fillet over here so we don't get a sharp piece over here. Fillet here to here. There we go. So now we have our, hopefully our profile works. So we're going to try it right now. So now I have my profile, and now this one here, which I'll rename feature properties, is my path. Okay, so now let's go back and let's go do our feature. Let's go do our sweep. The first thing I'm looking for is my profile. So let's go open it up, click profile. There's my profile. I think it shows my, I think it's because I have two things, but I'm going to go fix that. And we have our path, and let's press OK. So let me just go check to see my I think it's the more the angles I'm doing over here, but let me just check 1 second. Let's just press cancel. Let's just go see my profile, edit sketch. Let's say if I were to remove this one here. Okay, go back. Is it this or is it my path? Let's go do sweep. My profile is this one here. There we go. And my path is this one here. There we go. So it was my profile that was giving the issue. So if I go press OK now, as you can see here, I swept through the actual item. Again, like we did before, if I were to delete this and do it again, I did have that option for thin features. So if I click it right away and I go choose my objects, I don't have to always go there. I could just physically click one, my path as, actually for the path is better you grab the actual one, like so. And now if I add the thin feature, if I look here and I go put 2 and I accept it, you see now I do have a hole through my piece. So I did have that option to do this one over here. But there also is the option to use sweep cut. So we don't really have to do what I just did there if I don't want to use a thin feature. Let's go back up. Because again, once you use a thin feature, you can't go back and do it. So we did our profile, we did our thing. Let's go do it one more time, sweep. Our first one is always asking for the path, the profile, sorry. Then it looks for the path. And then we press OK. So now let's say I wanted to modify this and I wanted to cut a hole through this thing using the sweep cut. I could do the same exact thing. Make a sketch on this face here. Let's go let's do a sketch on the face. Let's do Control 8, which is over here. Now let's go use our commands we've worked before with. Let's go use the rectangle. Go inside like this, something like that, and we're going to accept it. Right, so now we have our path that we're going to cut through with. We're going to go now do our sweep. Oops, get out of this first, that would help. Go do our sweep cut. Now our profile, see, it already grabbed our profile. All it's looking for is our path. We could go back here and open the path that we already used for the last one, like so. And as you see here, it's cutting through our object as we did. If I press accept, and now I have a cut through my piece as well. So now that we've finished with the sweep, we're going to go now and use the Loft Boss, Loft Cut, and how to apply them. So when we're doing a loft, it's very similar to what we did 2 seconds ago or a couple of minutes ago. Let me just press open again. So for the loft to work, we're going to be using some planes. So maybe before I do the actual loft, let me show you how to add new reference planes. Because for the loft to work, you're going to have to offset planes. This way you'll be able to build it. So let me actually show you first what specifies a new reference plane. I'll talk about the 3-point, the lines, and a couple other plane options. So let's go start making a plane. So let's go make a feature. We have the option right here called plane. So now I'm making, but let's say let me first start off with an actual piece. So let me go make something. So let me go do something quickly. Let's make a sketch. Units I don't care right now about. So let's go make a rectangle again. Like so. Let's go make a circle from here to here. I have a feeling I'm going to get after screwed over by not doing dimensions, but it's okay. So we have this profile here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset it. Let's go this way here, like so, and press OK. So now that I have that, let's go do our extrusion. Like so, and let's make our little entranceway. So now I made a little entranceway for us to get inside. Let's say I wanted to cut on top of this plane, or let's say this face, sorry, or let's say I want to make a plane in between. All this is possible by using the plane option, the plane options. So give me 1 second. Again, it's like riding a bike. You just have to take a few seconds to look, and you will see what I'm talking about. So now we're in the feature tab. You do have the option under at the end called reference. You have plane, axis, coordinate system points, center of mass, and so forth. We're going to go use the plane option. If I wanted to make a plane, like I said, in the middle of these two objects, say I wanted to add something in the middle, what I would do is I go the first face, second face, and now I have a plane made in the middle. So if I want to now, I could do a sketch like so on this sketch here that I just made. And let's go to the Control 8. And let's use our section. Let's use our section piece right over here, which is going to cut through our right side like so. And now let's say I want to build something. Let's build a little, I guess, table from here to here. It's not a table. I don't know why I said a table, but we built this little object here. You'll notice now if I were to rotate it and I were to take off the section, that I am building the plane in the middle. So if I wanted to extrude this object that's in the middle, and I want to go only in the middle, so let's do not blind, but we're going to do mid plane, like so. And let's go put it smaller because this is way too big. I could accept it, and as you see here, I was able to make an object inside the middle by using the midpoint plane. Now the other options I could do by making planes. Let's go do another plane. Let's go do, I could do the same thing again if I want to go the other way, from the bottom to the top. And now I have this face. But if I don't want to do this one and I want to make it parallel to each other, as you see here, I was able now to add a sketch on the top by clicking the top, the top, and saying parallel to each other. So if I wanted to cut a hole on the top, for example, for a skylight or something, now I could do Control 8. Oops. No, cancel. Control 8. Oops, I got rid of that. Let's go here, create a sketch. Now I'm on the top. Let's make a lovely little thing from the middle. Something like this. I'll constrain it afterwards. Something like here. There we go. So if I wanted the middle to be exact in the middle, what I could have done for this case here is if I erase this, I should be able to convert these lines. So convert entities. And now if I click here and I click here, edge here, and I accept it, or even the edge here and the edge, or I just do the face at this point, you see I have the lines adding for me. So now if I go do a rectangle, I could get the middle, which I didn't have before. Okay, just draw it and see if the middle comes back in. But if I were to look, you see I have the lines going from one point to the other. So what I can do now, if I wanted to, is go from here, if I want the exact middle, if I don't want to use anything, and do another line from here, construction, to here. So now I have the middle, go back to the top view. Now I have the middle of that rectangle. So if I were to erase it, and I get rid of this extra line that just came in, and this one here, stupid SolidWorks keeps jumping, and I were to make a center. Again, if I want to make just say the midpoint instead of having always the cross from here, now I have my cutout. Go like this, extrude cut, going down. Instead of going through all, I'm just going to go give it a distance this time. So I could say up to next, which means it'll cut in and go right up to here. It won't go all the way down, it'll just go to this face here. Or I could just do up the surface, or I could just do a blind option and just say go cut through a certain distance. So let me go back up here just cut it as 1 degree, just so you see it cutting through a bit. Something like this. Let's go look. Perfect. Whatever. So as you see here, we cut through our top of our piece by depending on what's the size we needed. Again, and if I don't want to see these planes because now they're getting too much seeing them, I could always just click on a plane and say hide this plane, hide this plane. So I don't see them always. But again, if I want to add another one, plane again. Let's go from this face here I could do, click here. And now from this face here, let's say I wanted to offset it. I could just go type in a number now, say 30. And now it's going to offset a distance of 30. So when we do the loft in the next couple of minutes, you see that this would come useful because I could offset my planes with a certain distance. If I wanted to angular it, I could put it on an angle. Depending on what I need, I'm able to play with those reference planes. Accept. And now I have one over here again. If I want to do the offset reference, I just choose any face I want, the bottom, for example. Why is it doing this angle? Because I did this face and this one. But if I don't want it, I could just go back, delete this, and I do have the option again for the offset. All right. So let me just pause. So again, if I went too fast there, let me just undo what I just did.
Rob, how to
Okay, so just because I went fast to show you this one about the extrude. If I have a shape using the offset that we did before, so even if again if it is hidden, you could just go sketch like I did before, open it up and choose the planes that you want. And let's say you chose it and you wanted to extrude to this, like I said earlier, just go to extrude, click on the sketch that we just made, and use the option that says up to surface. And I could choose whatever surface. If I want to go this surface, it's going to go through the whole actual drawing to go through it until it touches that piece. If I click this surface, it would stop here. This one, it would stop here. So depending on what your need is, it will stop on that surface. So now that we've completed those over there, the next one that we're going to show is the loft option using the references that we just worked with. Let me say don't save. Let me open another one. I just like to have a clean canvas as we're working. So now that we've done that, let's go show you the loft feature. So like in AutoCAD, it's going to take a path and by adding material across different sections on different planes. So we'll start off with our front plane, for example, and we'll make a sketch right away. So I'm going to make the first one to be a circle, like so, and I'm going to make it 40, just so we remember that number. All right, now that we have our first one, we're going to go now and start offsetting our plane. So like we did before, we go back, exit. We're going to go do a feature, a reference plane, and we're going to go choose the plane that we just worked on, which was the front. Click here, and as you see here, we're going to use the offset. So I'm going to make every offset to be 50. And we'll remember those, so 50, okay? So now we did that one there. Let's go create a sketch here. I could do all my planes ahead of time, or I can go and change it up. Let's do another sketch on this face here. This one here is going to be a polygon. So for the polygon tool, guys, like in the other softwares, you choose how many angles you want. So I'll choose 8. You say if it's inscribed or circumscribed. You choose the middle, and you just draw the shape. I'll just draw that one there. It's a little bit bigger. Now I'll go again to my feature, do reference, not reference, sorry. Get out of this one. I'm going to go back to reference and do plane again. We're going to go offset our last one that we just made, so plane 1. Let's go the same direction, but this time let's change the number. Let's go put it 75, so you get a better idea. Okay, let's go make a sketch on that one. So now let's go make a box, I guess, just to change it up. Let's go like this. This may cause an issue, but we'll see how it works. like so. And let's add one more profile or one more reference. Let's get out of here. Plane. Let's go offset. I could even just click this one here instead of opening every time. And let's just choose a random number this time. Let's just pull it out. Okay, if it doesn't let you pull it out because mine's weird, let's go do 100. So we have a different, let's go actually 150. Let's do a big number, 150. So it's really off the pack. And let's go draw another shape there, sketch. Let's do the ellipse, see if that works. Ellipse, go here, go like this, like that. This would be a weird shape that we're building. And finally, let's go back to the first side and I'll make one showing that you could go the other way as well. Let's go back out of here. Let's go do another reference plane. Let's go offset our first plane, which was this one here. Could I click on this? There we go. Nope, it's clicking on it. So we're going to go back to reference plane and we're going to open up the first one we did, which was our front plane. And we're going to do a offset of or distance of 20. But we're going to go the other direction. So we're going to flip it so it goes the other way. So let's go now 40. And we're going to start off with a small little sketch as well. You don't need this many sketches. I'm just making sketches just to show you guys. Let's go make a smaller circle just to make this thing look cool. A smaller one. Okay. So obviously you should dimension each one of these sketches that you're working with, but I'm just for this video, I'm not going to do it. And again, if these planes are in the way and they're making you could just right click on them all and just do hide. And this way we only have our profiles that we are working with. So now that we've done all these profiles, we go to feature and we use the loft option. So now the loft is asking us to choose our profiles. So for our profiles, we're going to go choose 1, then 2, oops, come on, 1, now 2, then we go to 3, then we go to 4, then we could go back to 5. And if this shape is what you were looking for, press OK. And now you have a lovely bottle that we have over here. So we have this piece here that looks perfect. There's nothing really wrong with it. So depending on the shape you want, you can make. The same option goes for the Loft Cut. You could do the same profiles. And then afterwards, you choose which ones you want to cut through as well. We're not going to go make them again, but you guys do understand you're able to make those profiles as well. This is just a quick loft. If I want to go back and I want to edit that loft, and let's say I want to get rid of this sketch here, the big one, this one here, and delete. Now we have a different shape altogether. See, we got rid of that big one. And now that we have that big profile, let's see if it lets me cut it, loft cut. I think I need another profile, but let's see if it works. Let's choose this profile here. And let's choose the little petite one, which is this guy here. Let's see if this works. The sketch here, sketch 5. So now if I press OK, it's going to probably screw up. But it kind of cut through up until that, it's a loft cut up into that piece that we've created before. So you could play with it, have fun with it, and you'll do pretty much what you need with it. So again, with the same loft, guys, if I want to cut a hole down the middle of this profile, I could do the same thing and create a sketch from the bottom, make a circle like so. So like if I do this one here, I don't know, and let's go extrude cut. And then I don't want to go all the way through my object, so let's just say we're going this distance here, 92. Accept it. And now, if it doesn't crash, if you notice, I am able to have a extrude cut. You can use all the features that I've been showing you within each other. There's no limitation to what you can do using the software. All right.